Are there any foods that can help me boost my immune system? And what can I do to help keep myself well during the next few weeks of coronavirus disruption? Are there any supplements I should be taking at this time? Thank you guys so much for all your questions on these topics. In today's video, I will look at 7 evidence-based ways how we can use our diet and nutrition to help us keep our immune systems functioning at its best. I'll also look at some important ways to look after our health if we do fall ill with a cold, flu or the coronavirus. And do stay around for the end of the video because I will be sharing my top 6 foodie hacks to help keep ourselves entertained during this time of social distancing and possible self-isolation. Hey everyone, my name is Didi and I'm an Irish-based registered dietitian working for my dietetic consultancy Dietitian. At the moment I work both clinically in a large acute hospital and I provide dietitian clinics over video call to help you reach your nutrition goals. I also write about a wide variety of nutrition and health topics on my blog dietitian.com and I produce a new video here every 2 weeks. It's been a bit of a difficult time these past few weeks, hasn't it? I hope you guys are keeping well and are looking after yourselves during this time. Just letting you know in advance that it is likely that I may potentially be less available online here over the next few weeks because, as you guys know, I do work part-time as a clinical dietitian in a large hospital and I have offered to work full-time when they need me to cover acute services as the situation there develops. So while as dietitians may not feature as prominently in the media like our nursing and doctor colleagues, rest assured that we will be doing what we can to provide as normal a service as we can. So whether people in hospital require artificial nutrition while they're unable to eat, or need therapeutic diets for their new diagnosis of diabetes or kidney disease, or are struggling to eat enough to help them fight infections, we will strive to be there for you. So now let's delve into my top 7 tips for keeping our immune systems working at their best. Of course, as usual with my videos, if you have been advised personally by a doctor or a dietitian to eat a certain way, then continue to follow the advice from your own trusted healthcare professional rather than the advice in this video. So tip 1. Be aware that there is no clear diet, food or nutrient that is shown to help prevent or treat coronavirus, because this virus has not been around long enough for us to be able to study how our nutrition can even affect it. So please get your nutrition information from reputable sources. Anyone claiming to have a one-stop shop answer is unlikely getting their nutrition information from an evidence-based source. However, this does not mean that we cannot try to maintain a healthy immune system through the next tips that we do know play a role in keeping our bodies functioning at their best. So tip 2, get plenty of variety in your diet because our immune system uses not just one but a whole host of nutrients to keep our immune systems running. These nutrients include vitamin A, vitamin B6, vitamin B12, vitamin C, D, E, zinc, folate, iron, copper and selenium. The best way to help our bodies get enough of these is to eat a varied and balanced diet. So this is not the time to be cutting out food groups or even significantly cutting calories to lose weight. We need enough of all the food groups to get the full spectrum of all these nutrients. So get plenty of fruits, veg and whole grain carbs in right now. Get moderate amounts of dairy, meat and plant-based alternatives and eggs. And get a small amount of healthy oils such as olive oil and rapeseed oil. You can trust your balanced diet to give you all the nutrients it needs. So tip 3, include plenty of fruits and veggies. More now than ever, it is important to include at least 5, but preferably up to 10 portions of your fruits and veg. They truly are nutrient powerhouses, providing us with the majority of those nutrients we discussed earlier. They also give us a whole host of phytonutrients, which we know benefit our health, but are close to impossible to squeeze into a supplement. And fibre is also an important nutrient in maintaining a healthy gut. Did you know that a large proportion of our immune system actually starts in our gut? So aim for as many colours and types of fruits and veggies as you can get to get the most benefit. And remember, frozen fruit and veg are just as nutritious and they keep well for longer. So it is a useful staple to have just in case you're unable to leave your home for a little while. So tip 4, include enough protein foods in your diet. Now, while the majority of people easily exceed their protein requirements on a normal day, we do find that older adults may struggle to get enough protein at times. Now, protein is found in many foods, including meat, fish, poultry, eggs, dairy foods, nuts, beans, lentils, and many more. And it is used to build tissues and cells, including our much needed immune cells. And so while many of us easily meet our daily protein needs, it is important to be aware that our protein needs increase slightly when we do have a bad infection. This means that you may need to pay more close attention to including enough of the protein foods if your appetite is poor or if you are in the older age group. The meal that tends to be lowest in protein actually here in Ireland is usually breakfast, so this might be a time when you could increase your protein first. Think about including some dairy, maybe a Greek yogurt or so, or eggs or beans at this time. Tip 5, stay well hydrated. Aim to drink enough fluids during this time to keep your body well hydrated, because I know our fluid intakes can go down when we're kind of out of our usual routine. Maybe you're now working from home, or you're busy minding the kids full time because they're out of school, or maybe you're a healthcare working, taking on extra shifts in the hospital. Keep track of how much fluids you're drinking and aim for at least 2 or 3 litres a day. We usually advise to drink 35 mils per kilo of body weight for those under 65, and then 30 mils per kilo of body weight for those over 65 years old. However, do be aware that you will need to drink a little bit more if you have a fever or a high temperature. Now, tip number 6, keep up good food safety practices. The last thing our immune system needs right now is a hit from the tummy bug, right? So keep up good food safety practices to keep our tummies safe. This includes the all-important hand washing. Also keep a close eye on cross-contamination between cooked and uncooked foods, and check dates on items that have been in the fridge or cupboards for a while before using them, because I know desperate times call for desperate measures, but don't risk it with that fluffy open pot of sauce stored at the back of the fridge for the past few weeks. And another little thing to remember is that if you live with other people, including family members or housemates, wash all your dishes with hot soapy water to help avoid the spread of the virus from your dishes. And lastly, tip 7, I am getting a lot of questions still about whether we are recommending to take any supplements during this time. Now, for most of us, our diet can provide us with pretty much everything our body needs, okay? Our daily requirements, for example, for vitamin C are 40 milligrams a day. Now, if you're eating your 5 fruit and veggies a day, it's probably that you're going to get 200 milligrams a day already. And it's not just the citrus fruits like oranges that give us vitamin C, because red peppers, for example, are some of the best sources of vitamin C. Only half a cup of chopped red peppers will provide you with almost 100 milligrams. Now that is definitely more than double your daily recommended requirements. However, there has been a lot of research into those vitamin C supplements and their effect on the chances of catching a cold, and then the duration or severity of colds. Firstly, there isn't a clear benefit seen of taking vitamin C supplements every day to prevent a cold, except if you're doing severe physical exercise on a regular basis. Now, this mostly includes athletes. Definitely doesn't include me and my home gym setup. However, there may be some benefit to taking a vitamin C supplement just when you're going to start having the symptoms of a cold. There is some evidence to say that it might then help to slightly reduce the duration and severity of your cold. Next, zinc supplements also have a large body of research done on them, and it was found that a zinc supplement may shorten the duration of a common cold. However, they do find that there's more research needed to be done to see if there's any risks associated with taking a supplement. I guess general recommendations again here is to only consider a zinc supplement when you have a cold, rather than taking it on a daily basis. Another supplement group that has shown links to helping our immune system as well are the probiotics. Now, there is a small amount of evidence to show that taking a probiotic may reduce the incidence and duration of respiratory tract infections. However, there's of course more research needed before we can make this a firmer recommendation. Again, it does highlight that our gut probably plays a huge role in our immune system, and including a good variety of those fruits and veggies can also help keep our gut in good shape. And lastly, if you have low vitamin D levels, then a vitamin D supplement may be useful to help keep our immune systems healthy. Research shows that vitamin D supplements may help protect against respiratory tract infections, especially for people who have very low vitamin D levels. As vitamin D is difficult to find in our diet alone, we do mostly rely on our summer sunshine to build up our vitamin D stores. It is possible that our vitamin D levels are lower after winter, so some people may indeed benefit from taking a small vitamin D supplement every day until they can get back into the summer sun. By the way, guys, yes, I'm in a new space. I'm trying to stay out of my living room and my kitchen to give my housemates, who are all home today, and we're all trying to practice social distancing, so all my housemates are home today, so I'm going to give them space in the living room and the kitchen as well. So I'm in my little room here trying to set up a makeshift studio. And what can I do with my diet if I do fall ill with COVID-19 or a cold or flu? Now, if your appetite is reduced, I would recommend to continue trying to eat a variety where possible. But if you don't have an appetite for your 3 big meals a day, consider having 3 smaller meals and 3 substantial snacks between your meals to catch up. We call this pattern little and often eating. For your snacks, try to include a little bit of carbohydrate, such as bread or pasta or crackers, maybe some fruit or a starchy veg, and include a portion of protein, such as eggs, meat, poultry, dairy foods, beans or nuts. Ideas might be, for example, toast and peanut butter, crackers and cheese, or maybe a piece of fruit and a yogurt. Now, if your appetite is significantly reduced, then typical healthy eating recommendations may have to go on the back burner for a little while. You may need to focus on getting enough calories and protein to just help you fuel your body through the infection using more nutrient-dense foods. Consider including some higher calorie foods then more regularly, such as oils, fats and sugars if needed. Now do imagine, for example, you may not have an appetite for whole grain rice and veggie salads. However, you may feel more able to get your calories from a slice of apple pie and custard. And of course guys, stay hydrated through it all. If you have a fever, you will need to increase your fluid to balance out the fluids you lose from sweating. People often find warmer drinks more comforting, but do consider colder drinks also to refresh and cool you. Again, more nutrient-dense drinks may be useful if your appetite is poor, so consider soups, juice, milk, milkshakes, maybe milky teas and coffees, if this is the case. And of course, guys, there are plenty of non-food habits that can help us to keep feeling well as well. Getting enough sleep and exercise, minding your mental health, washing your hands and keeping our social distance are all part of it. However, there are plenty more people out there with far more expertise in these areas, so I will link some of those heroes down below. Now, as promised, let's consider some ways that we can help to keep our minds immune to the madness using food as well. So I know there's countless foodies out there. Please do add to this list yourself by commenting down below. Here are my top foodie things though to help us stay sane while staying at home. So my foodie home fun tip number 1, get your bake on. Those brown bananas at the back of the press are finally getting to shine in your banana bread, guys. And dig out those cookie cutters at the back of the press for some short bread shapes. Foodie home fun tip number 2, bulk cook and freeze. Why not spend a spare afternoon bulk cooking some meals and freezing them? They may come in handy for a time when you don't feel so up for cooking. Tip number 3, try out some new recipes. Have a go at cooking a new recipe. Take out those cookbooks from the shelf or check out one of the millions of recipe websites out there. Or just get intuitive with a recipe you already know. See if you can swap around some ingredients, make a veggie version of it or introduce a new flavour. In my previous video on intuitive cooking, I've given you some ideas of how to go about that. So my tip number 4, prepare and serve a meal in a restaurant-worthy style. Now this might be a fun one actually for the kids, so put them in charge of coming up with a menu, using ingredients of course that you already have in the cupboard, and get them involved in whichever steps of the prep, cooking, serving of the dishes that you feel comfortable. If we cannot attend restaurants right now, bring the restaurant into your home. So then tip number 5, refresh your cupboards, fridge and freezer. Mandatory time at home may be a perfect opportunity to clear our heads by clearing our food storage spaces. Those baking presses, back of the fridge shelves and frozen over freezers may be hiding some real gems and possibly some horrors. So forced sprinkling is definitely something that's going to be on the cards here. I'm just thinking about all the stuff in the back of my freezer I haven't seen for a while. And then foodie home fun tip number 6, plant stalks and onions. Did you know that there are several food scraps that can be replanted or regrown? Most things that come with a root system, so for example spring onions and heads of lettuce with roots, can be planted and regrow to a certain extent. I personally put my batch of spring onions into a tall glass jar with some water and rarely actually have to buy new stalks as they continue producing new fresh green shoots to eat. And another fun activity could be to plant a sprouting onion in a pot of soil. Chances are that it might grow into a fresh onion plant and they actually have really lovely white flowers. Now please do comment below with some of your very own foodie fun ideas to help us stay sane while we're staying at home during this time. I hope you found this video useful. Feel free to comment below with any questions. And if you like this video, please let me know down there with a thumbs up or a little heart and a little positive comment below. And for more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel and click that little bell button on my channel page to get notified when my next video comes out. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and all going well. And my new full-time schedule is not tiring me out too much. I will see you all again in 2 weeks' time. Bye!